Hello friends, welcome you all to my channel Housekeeping Hospitality, and in today's video we'll discuss on hotel guest touch points during this COVID-19 and what are the preventive measures we can take to control coronavirus COVID-19, and we'll be in safe hands for the customer or the guest also. In hotel, the main entrance, door knobs, door handle are the vital part with the guest touch points, which need to be cleaned frequently with the accurate disinfectant, prescribed approved disinfectant for the guest main door entrance doorknob. Second thing is, as main important thing is that our front office counter, where the guest will come, he'll fill the registration form and he will do the check-in and check-out also. So the front office counter need to be cleaned frequently. And next is the registration form holder, which also will be interacted, this is also a guest touch point during the check-in and check-out. So make sure it's also disinfectant with this chemical wipes. And next is the pen which the guest will use while writing the if he writing this registration form, and that also needs to be sanitized with the accurate prescribed disinfectant in the reception front office. Next is the bellboy cart and the luggage which coming with the guest, that also need to be sanitized. Make sure this is very vital part, where the bellboy is very much interacted with the guest and the luggages also. Now we'll go with the guest lifts, where the guest will go to the room and the luggage and the bellboy cart also go along with it. So there may be a chance of infection spread there. So the guest lift need to be cleaned thoroughly. The guest lift buttons, points, touch points is very important. All the guests will touch which floor they want to go, that also need to be cleaned thoroughly with the proper appropriate disinfectant by the housekeeping team. That is also very important in hotel industry. And next is the public area washroom or the guest washroom, where the guest will go definitely, the restaurant guest, the hotel guest will go. So the wash basin, the WC, the urinals need to be properly disinfectant, need to be sanitized properly. The wash basin knob is a common touch point for all the guests, all the customers coming to the hotel. So that also a vital part, need to be cleaned perfectly in every 30 minutes or 20 minutes, need to be sanitized properly. Then we'll go to the WC flush button is also the guest points, touch points, where the guest also use it during the flush. So that also need to be cleaned thoroughly. So we are discussing about the guest touch points. Next is the guest rooms door handles, where the guest will definitely touch it while opening and while closing frequently. So there is a chance of spreading the COVID-19 if the person is affected, that need to be sanitized properly. Next is the key card and the key card holder and the key card slot also, that is touched by the guest definitely during the stay or during the checkout, or while the guest coming down for restaurant or going out, that need to be disinfectant, that need to be sanitized properly. Next is the wardrobe door handle and the luggage rack, also that is a common touch point for the guests while they are in the in house. So that also need to be cleaned, wiped properly during the stay. Luggage rack also need to be cleaned properly. Shoe rack also need to be cleaned properly and frequently to stop the spread. After each guest checkout, the room need to be thoroughly clean as per the standard of COVID-19 and as per the WHO guidelines. Next is the minibar, mini fridge, which is there in the each guest room. Guest will definitely consume the alcohol, the beverages, and also he will touch the handle of the minibar, mini fridge. That also need to be cleaned properly with the proper appropriate prescribed disinfectant. You should not leave this. Next is the tea kettle, the cup saucer, the tea kettle holder. Everything need to be sanitized properly with the hot water. Also, you can sanitize, or with the proper chemical, you have to sanitize it. Make sure you cannot leave all these things. They are very, very important. Next common thing which guests generally use is the telephone to call the reception, to call the room service, to call housekeeping, to call bell desk. Each keypad, key buttons, mouthpiece, everything need to be sanitized properly with Dettol. Don't forget to sanitize it. Now next, the guest touch points are there, like window railings, window handles, that also need to be sanitized during this COVID-19. So you have to make it a habit for a long time, unless and until the COVID-19 is expired from this world. So you have to take care of all these things. Next is the room furnitures, room tables, room chairs, room coffee tables, room headboards, room side tables need to be thoroughly cleaned with proper appropriate disinfectant. So you cannot leave all these parts. Then in room, shower cubicle is there, shower cubicle handle is there, wash basin handles, wardrobe handles, all these rolls, also toilet roll handle also need to be sanitized properly in the guest rooms after the guest check out, before check-in. And this is for the laundry purpose. All the bed linens, pillow covers, duvet covers, mattress protector, bed sheets, all need to be sanitized properly in the laundry after each guest check out. Bath linen also need to be sanitized properly with the proper chemical in the laundry. The laundry manager need to be very, very careful dealing with the linen that may be infected with any corona positive patients. So we cannot take any chances during COVID-19. Next is the carpet of the hotel room, guest room. That also a major area where need to be focused with proper vacuuming, proper steam vacuuming also need to be done. Sampling also need to be done after each guest check out. You have to, then the ESK need to take a call on this. Then obviously the room curtains, heavy curtains, sheer curtain, that also will be touched by the guest, and that also need to be vacuumed, steam iron to get the corona out of the room. Thank you all. We'll stay tuned for the next video. We'll be focusing more on COVID-19. We all are battling badly. We are together. We'll definitely win this coronavirus COVID-19. So these are the preventive measures.